about Qlikview. How are we going to proceed in this training? So let me begin with the introduction about Qlikview. Okay. So first of all, what is Qlikview? So Qlikview is basically a BI tool which is designed by a company called Qlikview. Now it has been named as Qlik, which is used to design to retrieve the data and analyze and report the data for the decision making for the companies which have big data. And what is the technology on which Qlikview works? Qlikview works on an in-memory data model technology. That is, it stores all the data into the RAM of the system instead of using the disk, which makes it faster. The response time is faster, and people experience as they are working directly with the RAM data. So why do we need Qlikview? So as we know that there are already many BI tools in the market like IBM Cognos, SAP BO, Oracle Hyperion, and also some tools like Microsoft Office Excel, which is not exactly a BI tool, but still it is being used by people for decision making and for data reporting. So Qlikview, as you can see from this graph, has the advantages of both, like it has a good analytical capability like that of IBM and Cognos, and also it is a user driven instead of like it is an IT driven. So you don't have to go to your IT people again and again to make changes to the application. The user can make the changes themselves. So that's why Qlikview is preferred nowadays over like costly tools like IBM Cognos, Oracle Hyperion, and not so good tools like Office Excel for reporting purposes. So what are the tools, what are the points of Qlikview which makes it unique? So it has a faster deployment time, and we can say it has been proved that the deployment time is 1/10 of the time which is taken by the traditional queue-based BI tools. And we will know the reason very soon in the next few slides. So that's because no queues are required, there is no third-party ETL tool required, and the total cost of implementing the software, hardware, and also the maintenance is very low. And also Qlikview works very intuitively. It works like the mind box. It is kind of user driven. So we will go into the further details about it. Like what are the features of a traditional BI tool? A traditional BI tool, there are data sources from which ETL process is done and a data warehouse is made. From those data warehouse, a cube is made. A cube is basically a pre-aggregation of dimension measures, which is made by the experts. And then that cube is queried for the reporting purposes. So every time you need a different report, you have to modify that cube. This is the feature of a traditional BI tool. But Qlikview works on an associative user experience. Now what is that? So user experience, it puts user into control rather than the IT people in control. So what happens is that users are free to make their choices, and they are predefined. They are not the predefined paths to navigate and explore the data. So I will show you with the help of a slide. So what happens in the traditional BI is that suppose you have a hierarchy like region, state, product, and salesperson. Now you want to see your sales of a particular product in a particular region. So in a traditional BI solution, you have to go through a fixed route, which is region, state, then product, and then salesperson. But in Qlikview, which is associative, you can click on anything. You can click on region, you can click on state, or directly to the product, or even to the salesperson to see a particular relationship between these four entities. So that is why it is associative. It is kind of a circular relationship between all the dimensions which are required, and not a fixed hierarchical relationship. So that's why users get instantly what they need. Now I'm going to explain something about the architecture of Qlikview. What are the components of Qlikview? So the first component Qlikview is the Qlikview desktop. Like basically it is a SQL-like scripting environment which uses a variety of data sources and connectors, and through which we can connect to our reporting database, and then we can query it, make our own native Qlikview database which is called a QVD, and we can above that present a data model and a GUI layer for the presentation to the user. This is the first component of a Qlikview architecture. After that comes the Qlikview server. What happens is that when the data is loaded into a Qlikview application, it is basically loaded into an in-memory engine, which also handles all the client-server communication. It is responsible for the reload, publishing, and distribution of the content to the people. Reload of the application, publishing and distribution of the content to the users. It also holds a Qlikview management console. Now, what does a management console do? It is basically a kind of a control panel where you can control your Qlikview documents. You can reload them, you can assign licenses to your documents to different users, and you can see what is going wrong in your Qlikview applications. Okay, so for example, if some application fails, you can see which is the application which has failed, who are the users which are using currently a particular application, and what is the memory that they are using. So basically, it is a heart and soul of the Qlikview architecture. After that comes a access point. Access point is nothing but a kind of a web server where people can, users can access their reports directly using a web browser. And then we have a part called a Qlikview publisher, which is not kind of a mandatory, but it's kind of an add-on to the Qlikview architecture because it gives some features like data reduction based on user authorization or data access privileges. Although you can also, this is basically kind of a security implementation. Although you can also implement security using, without publisher also you can implement security using some code, section access, section application, but it gives you some extra advantages over applying section access over different kind of fields. And although I shall tell you that it will not be a part of our curriculum, but still in architecture, when we talk about architecture, I think it is important to mention it. And if you want to distribute PDFs, reports using your Qlikview, then you can use the publisher also, although it is still possible without using the publisher, using the macro codes in the Qlikview application. And then, as I told, there is a Qlikview web server where people can access the application. The application can still be accessed over iPads and iPhone and Blackberries and other gadgets. So this is the complete architecture which we get after combining all these three components. And then I would like to also explain here about the social media analytics. How is Qlikview useful to get the data from social media? What are the opinions and expressions that people make, and how can it be used for a company to make decision about it? So Qlikview basically does not support social media by itself, but basically there are third-party tools like we have a thing called Qlikview Source. So Qlikview Source is an app which can connect, which is a kind of partner with Qlikview, and then it can provide facility to connect to social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Skype, and Google Analytics also. Also, then we have a thing called Precise, which is a leading business information group, which uses Qlikview to monitor and analyze the news and opinions of people, to help the clients to understand the trends and what is the impact on the current and the future businesses. This way, Qlikview also handles the media analytics. Now, if we want to use Qlikview, what are our system requirements? Because it is not that we are simply going to install Qlikview. So we should understand that what are the system requirements, and that becomes important because Qlikview works on a very novel technology. So you have to have a particular amount of RAM to sustain Qlikview. So operating system, you can use the, I think people must not be having an operating system older than what I'm mentioning here. So at least they must be having an XP, SP3, and then Vista, Windows 7, and then Server 2003 and 2008. And the Qlikview desktop version, which is preferred, should be 11.0 because it is the most stable version nowadays. When I mean stable, like it has all the like what can you say, all the things which are required to make a complete Qlikview application. Like you can also go into 11.2 data discovery, but still data discovery is still under process of like beta testing view. So 11.0 is the best tool to use as far as the Qlikview training is concerned. Then hardware, as I told, hardware is very important for Qlikview. So these are basically some of the basic requirements. But the most important thing is the RAM. So we need at least 1 GB of RAM for 32-bit Windows and 4 GB RAM at least for the 64-bit Windows configuration for Qlikview to work properly. And also 150 MB of free disk space for the Qlikview installation purpose. And why I mention here resolution of at least 1024 into 768 is that because for the visualization purposes, it is always good to have this standard resolution so that people and on different screens can see this. All the people at the user level can still change this using Zoom facility of the Qlikview browser. Now, if somebody wants to learn Qlikview, what are the things which are expected to be in a student who wants to learn Qlikview? So basically, he should have excellent database knowledge, SQL knowledge, and also some basic knowledge of programming, if then else loop, etc. And also good analytical and logical reasoning skills, because after all, it is a BI tool, and you have to know what are you going to make. What is the purpose of that application? So if these are present in a particular student, he can very well learn Qlikview. And also, if he learns about the data warehouse concepts, ETLs also, then also it can help, but it is not that much required because Qlikview does not depend on external ETL tools. It has something internal ETL, which transforms and clean data inside. And so if we talk about the contents of this course, the contents of this course is, it will start with the introduction of Qlikview, where it will be something similar which I have explained till now. So it will tell you about the traditional BI tools versus Qlikview as I explained, and some normal topics. And then the design requirements. Although I don't think the curriculum given on the website is very completely, we can have a look at it. But still, the design requirements of Qlikview, how does different functionalities work, what are the properties of different objects, and that will come to know once the training begins. And then the dashboard part, that is also something which is just an idea. It is not understandable by someone who does not know Qlikview. So these are the contents of the Qlikview course. And then we are going to make our first Qlikview document, how to install Qlikview, and then data modeling stuff, scripting, and then transformation. And here is the ETL part. And then loading data into Qlikview, and then some expressions also, which are helpful to generate some kind of analysis. And then security. Security is also a very important part of the Qlikview application. The course is expected to be completed in 25 hours, although it can take a bit more than that also, depending on the capability of the students and everybody is on the same page or not. So after the course, what can you expect? You can expect a job role in one of these companies, like, because Qlikview has a broad base of customers, in some renowned companies are using it, as a Qlikview developer or a Qlikview consultant.